I want to give a quick shout out to my patrons. Thank you so much for your support. Hey y'all, it's Kate from Apothecary and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing books my boyfriend gave me, the video game edition. We're going to be talking about Bloodlines by Jason M. Hough. This is book 7 in the Gears of War series, the second to last book. And please bear with me because I'm trying to film right now with a cold and I feel like I'm in that cocoon where nothing can really bother you, but you keep sneezing and you're congested and just everything is just a haze. So bear with me, y'all. So I gave this book 3 out of 5 stars and I'll talk about why in just a minute. But a spoiler-free summary of Bloodlines. Kate Diaz is forced to choose between following her mother's outsider ways or in her father's footsteps as a cog gear. Although the majority of the middle of the story we see her dad, Gabe Diaz, as a gear and the decisions he had to make during the Battle of Gatka Ridge, this is kind of a setup for one of the new Gears of War video games that came out around the same time, Gear Tactics. So that's kind of really what this book was all for. Like I said, most of the book we saw Kate's dad, who we hadn't really met at all this series. So I gave this book 3 out of 5 stars. I thought the writing was actually pretty well done. But as part of the book series, just like my gripe with book 6, this book is definitely not needed. It would have worked much better as a companion novel. Some people called these new books 6, 7, and 8 part of the Coalition era, which I'm guessing is part of the video game terminology. However, we don't have any of that anywhere in the book world. So if you're gonna write books based off of video games in a series, you gotta have the consistent language. Otherwise, it's confusing for people like me who haven't really played the games. We just started playing game 1 a couple weeks ago. I don't have that knowledge that other people have. But, so like I said, some people call it the Coalition era, which makes sense because it feels like it's a whole different series. But on Goodreads and everywhere else, I see this is book 7 in the Gears of War series. Like I said, the writing itself was fine, but it was mostly just a push to get a new game that they had coming out. And for me as a reader not exposed to the video games, it did nothing. It felt like this was just a added throw-in. It felt like we did not need it at all in this series to advance this series. And like I said, we hadn't met Gabe before. He hadn't even really been mentioned before. A little bit in book 6 with Kate, but not enough to warrant an entire book on his own. So we hadn't met him before. We hadn't heard much about him before, and now we're supposed to be in his head and supposed to care about him, and I just had such a hard time feeling anything for these characters. So that's my very quick review for Bloodlines by Jason M. Hough. I gave this 3 out of 5 stars. I am already in the middle of book 8, the last book, Ephra Rising, and I'm enjoying that one more than this one. So we'll see where it all shakes out. But that's it for now, and as always, my Patreon, my Discord information will be in the description below. Keep reading, and I love you all to the moon and back. Bye.